Skibidi Toilet Season 16 started off with a very interesting episode. That's the one we're going to review in detail in this video. There are a lot of secrets and Easter eggs that you might not have noticed, so watch the video to the end. And here we go. From the first seconds of episode 48, we are presented with the "Help is Coming" sign. I think this is the episode where you should pay attention to all the signs, and I'll explain why. Usually Defuk would put links to the Gary's Mod map under the video, indicating that the maps were original. But in this episode we see only the title, which means that the author remade this map for the video. Next we see a gray toilet helicopter. As I have already noticed in previous videos, the gray color means that this Skibidi toilet belongs to the security forces. Most likely it is military. We also see a machine gun on the bottom of the flying toilet. This means that it cannot drive or even stand on a ground. It turns out that this Skibidi toilet is quite weak. If you damage its blades, it will not be able to fly and will be useless. Then we see how quickly Big Cameraman jumps out of the ambush on the toilet helicopter and they fall into the fire together. Then there is an explosion. By the way, probably Big Cameraman survived. Later I'll tell you why. Here we see the text, "He is watching." What it can mean, write in the comments. And I'll make my assumptions. The first theory, this sign refers us to the creator of Skibidi Toilets, who appeared more than once in Season 15. By the way, he appeared in this episode as well. If you haven't noticed, keep watching, I'll definitely show you that moment. He's really watching what's going on. Perhaps the sign tells us that he will soon appear as one of the main characters of the series. But there is a second version. We're talking about Cameraman the Titan. He hasn't appeared in the series for a long time, and the last thing we know about this Titan is that he was repaired in the hangar after the battle with G-Toilet. By the way, you can see more theories about the Cameraman Titan on my channel, but first watch this video to the end. The fact that the plate is about this Titan can be guessed from the first sign. Help is coming. As we remember, the 47th episode ended with TV Man Titan being badly injured and teleported away. The alliance of Cameraman, Speaker Man, and TV Man lost the strongest warrior, and the sign that help is coming encourages us. By the way, the computer men may also come as help, but not much is known about them yet. If you are very interested to see all the references about the computer men appearance and know why they will appear, write in the comments. I will record a special video about it. But back to our new episode. Next, a squad of gray Skibidi toilets is coming right at us. But notice the change sign. If you know what is written at the bottom, drop it in the comments, and I'll just assume that something must have changed. Now pay attention to Cameraman. He has a black camera, and as we see, he's a much more skilled fighter than the average cameraman. We see him appear in episode 43. There's a plunger standing next to him. Same as in episode 48, his weapon of choice is 2 plungers. Just like in episode 45, a similar cameraman is sitting next to us in the shelter, and the plunger is again next to him. Let's call him the Plunger Cameraman. We should give him credit. He's a great fighter and defeats 5 toilets by himself. He also dodges the circular saw of the new Skibidi toilet and survives. But we'll talk about this toilet later. Let's just go over everything in order. On the wall, we see a sign pottery from around the world. Perhaps this is a reference to the appearance of Skibidi pots. At least it's not about the Pottermans. It wouldn't really belong in the theme, and it's not likely to exist. But if Skibidi pots will be the second race along with Skibidi toilets, it will be a serious advantage, because the pot cannot be flushed like a toilet. For now, flushing is still the main weakness of toilets. But we're moving on. The cameraman is attacked from behind by another Skibidi toilet with glasses. They've been wearing glasses since the appearance of TV men. And now we notice that we're watching from the side of the cameraman scientist. That's confirmed by the white suit and Skibidi's parasite-killing invention from episode 35. Someone suggested that we are watching on behalf of the scientist who gave us the gun. But it's not a sure thing. First of all, he is probably not alive. And secondly, besides him, there were many other scientists in similar suits in different episodes. I'm assuming that in episode 48 we became one of them. But this scientist handles the gray toilet very easily. Notice that the toilet agent is inside the toilet in the suit. We can see the collar in these shots right here. Next, notice that the toilet that was flipped over by the cameraman is still alive. He lifts his head up a second after the kick. Also note that the street that Big Cameraman runs out of is completely on fire, but he escapes unharmed and unscathed. I'm guessing that the cameraman from the beginning of the episode also survived the explosion. Maybe they have fireproof suits or something. Let's also look closely at the cannon that the scientist uses to neutralize his comrade. It's based on a video camera. You can see the flash at the top. Except the blue tubes at the end of it, it is no different from a professional camera. By the way, we saw similar technology in earlier episodes. It's a flying camera that fired a similar blue beam. Even then, we saw that this beam does not work on large toilets and the main G-Man toilet. We can also see this in episode 38, where G-Toilet covered an infected Titan from the beam of this cannon. And now, what not many people noticed. During the shot, we see an agent standing behind the glass of the storefront. This is Defuk himself again, so we can conclude that the sign, "He is watching," just about him. In the next shots, we see that there are plungers sticking out of 2 toilets. Apparently, they are a great weapon against Skibidi toilets, and maybe we will see one of the Titans improved with plungers. But that's just a guess. And for now, we're just seeing a new Skibidi toilet's creation, the flying circular saw toilet. By the way, we see him blow up a destroyed toilet bowl and an undamaged plunger flies out of it. It wasn't broken by the explosion or the circular saw. Maybe it just flew off earlier from the explosion, but I can assume that the plunger is made of strong materials. There's a reason why the plunger cameraman always carries one with him. But let's take a closer look at the new Skibidi toilet. Apparently, the idea of making toilets without eyes was not a success. The blind vacuum toilet was easily destroyed by Titan TV Man. Now we see a new invention, an improved mask with eyeglasses. Maybe they don't break from a high-pitched sound or a face punch. Yeah, and it's hard to hit this flying saw because if you get close to it, you can being sliced. A second before the improved toilet flies towards us, we see the XCC writing. Who has a guess about it? Write in the comments. The next frames show a huge number 5 on the poster. And the last thing we see before we are destroyed by the circular saw is a smile on Skibidi's face. He's enjoying destroying the cameramen. By the way, what happened to the parasite-killing cannon is not yet known. But I can assume that the plunger cameraman will pick it up and be able to keep it away from the toilets. After all, if the toilet scientist got it in his hands, it could greatly improve the parasites. They will become protected from this cannon, and Speakerman Titan will continue to fight on the toilet's side. Now theories. I'm guessing that the Skibidi toilets will gain the support of a new race, possibly Skibidi pots or something else. Titan cameraman will come back improved. Titan TV Man will be recovered from a serious injury, and Speakerman will be rid of parasites with a strong cannon. I suspect there will be a final battle of the 3 Titans against G-Toilet, after which a new race will come to the aid of the toilets. Perhaps the creator of Skibidi toilets will involve in the story himself and become one of the main characters. Also, I would really like to see the computer men appear in the next few episodes. This is a very interesting story that unfolds into an incredible war. Subscribe to the channel to follow along with me in how the events will turn out. And that was me, Asa Toile. See you soon on my channel.